I was in my late teens and wanted to go down to Texas to work in the cattle business, and this is a story that goes, I want free air, and I want free life, and I sigh for the candor after the cattle. The melee of horns and hoops and wars that scatter and spread like shots in a battle, the green beneath and the blue above, and something and Lasca. Lasca used to ride on a mouse gray Mustang close by my side. Little she cared for books or creeds, and Ave Maria sufficed her needs. Little she cared, safe to be by my side, to ride with me and never to ride from San Sabre shore to Backer's tide. She was as wild as the wind that blows, and as something as the billows that beat. From her little head to her little toes she was swayed in suppleness to and fro by each gush of passion. Like a sapling pine that grows on the edge of a Kansas bluff that wars with the winds when the weather is rough, is like this Lasca, this love of mine. She was take the bitter and leave me the sweet, but once when I made her angry for fun at something I'd whispered or said or done, she drew from her breast a dear little dagger, and like the sting of a wasp it made me stagger, an inch to the left or an inch to the right, and I wouldn't be wandering here tonight in Texas down by the Rio Grande. The air was heavy and the night was hot, and I sat down by her side and forgot that the air was close pressed, forgot that the herd were taking their rest, that the storms came sudden and soon, at the dead of night or at the blaze of noon. Oh, I can't remember. Was that thunder? I sprang to the saddle and she clung behind, and away on a hot chase down the wind we rode for our lives. The Mustang flew and I urged it on. We had one chance left, but we had but one. Halt, jump to the ground and shoot your horse, crouch under his carcass and take your chance. And if the, something, I can't remember. I better turn it off. I can't. We crouched under the horse and take your chance, and if the something in their rush doesn't batter you to pieces, then thank your lucky stars. If not, goodbye to the something, something, and something. The cattle gained on us, and just as I reached for my old 6-shooter behind in my belt, down came the Mustang and down came we clinging together. Something, 2 arms that shielded my dizzy head, 2 lips that hard upon my lip was pressed. Then came thunder in my eyes as over a surge of steers. And before I could rise, Lasca was dead. I gouged out a grave a few feet deep. Can't finish it. And there in Earth's arms I laid her to sleep. And the little gray fox the little gray hawk hung aloft in the air, and the little gray fox trotted here and there. And I wonder why I do not care for the things that are like the things that were. Is it that half my heart lies buried there, down by the Rio Grande? Something like that.
Wow.
Quite a bit that I left out. Like the black snake glitters and slides by the cottonwood tree, and I wish I could find that. I need to get it and type it up and post it where I can find it. I used to know it all, but if you don't use it, you lose it. You forget it.
Who's that by?
I don't know who the author was. It was on an old phonograph record. We used to have a phonograph, one of those old kind that you had to wind up, and they had those big, thick records. And it was on that. I often wondered what happened to it. Dale got that phonograph. I'll have to see if Nathan still got that.
Could I find it at the library now, do you think? Like, if I looked up?
You might have. Everything's on the internet.
Yeah.
I imagine if you knew what buttons to press, you'd find it on there.
Just type in Lasca.
Lasca, down by the Rio Grande. I want free life, and I want fresh air, and I sigh for the canter after the cattle. The melee of horns and hoops and wars that scatter and spread like shots in a battle. The green beneath and the blue above, and dash and danger and love and Lasca. Lasca used to ride on a mouse gray Mustang close by my side. Little she cared for books or creeds. An Ave Maria sufficed her needs. Little she cared, safe to be by my side, to ride with me and ever to ride from San Saber's shore to Bacchus tide. She was wild as the willows that beat, and as something as the breezes that blow. From her little head to her little feet she swayed in suppleness to and fro like each gush of passion, like a sapling pine that grew on the edge of a Kansas bluff that warred with the winds when they withered. As rough as like this Lasca, this love of mine. She would hunger that I might eat. She would take the bitter and leave me the sweet. But once when I made her angry for fun at something I'd whispered or said or done, she drew from her breast a dear little dagger, and like the sting of a wasp, it made me stagger. An inch to the left or an inch to the right, and I wouldn't be wandering here tonight in Texas, down by the Rio Grande. The air was heavy and the night was hot, and I sat down by her side and forgot that the herd was taking a rest, forgot that the air was close oppressed, that the storm, the hurricanes came sudden and soon in the dead of night or the blaze of noon. Was that thunder? I sprang to the saddle and she clung behind, and away on a hot chase down the wind we rode for our lives. The Mustang flew, but I urged him on. We had one chance left, and we had but one. Halt, jump to the ground and shoot your horse. Crouch under his saddle, under his body, and take your chance. And if there's lines that I can't remember. Let's see. Then came thunder in my ears as over us surged a sea of steers, blows that shot blood into my eyes, and before I could rise, Lasca was Dead. I gasped out a grave a few feet deep in there, in earth's arms I laid her to sleep. And the little gray hawk hangs aloft in the air, and the little gray fox trots here and there, and the black snake glides and glitters and slides to a drift in the cottonwood tree. And I wonder why things that were are not like things that are. Is it that because half my life lies buried there in Texas down by the Rio Grande? Now that's most of it.
Nice.
That is good. That's
There's one
powerful.
part there that I can't remember the line.
Well, thanks for sharing, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Let's see, you asked another question that I can't remember what it was.
Can we go outside? And have you stay?
Years ago, I had rabbits, and I went over to Smith's to get lettuce leaves to feed them. And I did that for a couple of years, and met most of the people over there who were nice to me. But in those days, they had a big dumpster outside that they had to take all the garbage out and throw in this dumpster. Now they have one inside that is a lot more convenient. But then it was quite high, and the kids that worked there would bring their stuff out, and sometimes they weren't tall enough to throw it up and over the edge, and it would land on the ground. And one day, when I went over for lettuce, the ground was littered with papers and trash, and I always carried a scoop shovel and a broom in my truck, and so I decided I'd be a good Samaritan and clean it up. So I spent a half a day cleaning it up. Several days later, the manager called me, and I thought I was in big trouble. I might have done something I wasn't supposed to do, but instead he praised me and said what a good boy I was for doing that without being told or without compensation, and asked me if I could continue to do it, that they'd give me all the throwaway in the store. Of course, that's another example of making promises that you can't keep, because when they changed to a new manager, and at first I used to get the bakery, milk, the meat department, the produce department, the deli department, and then when a new manager came in, she says I couldn't take the milk and the stuff that had to be refrigerated because I didn't have a refrigerated truck to haul it in, which was a bunch of cow pucky. And so they cut me back just to the produce and the bakery. But in the meantime, I was just taking it down to the Catholic Community Service, and they told me about the senior volunteer program. So I investigated and joined that, the SC
RSVP?
RSVP, Retired Senior Volunteer Program. And so I signed up for that, and they pay you for 273 miles of travel, which amounts to about $73 every 3 months, which helped a little bit pay for gas. So that's what I'm doing now, still going over there. I used to go twice a day, at 9 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon, but I cut it when they cut out the deli and milk and meat and stuff. I didn't have enough to make 2 trips, so I just go once. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Pick up the bakery and the produce. Then I bring it home and keep it. I used to take it to several charities, which was a hassle. And then I started taking it to St. Anne's, and they were so much more cooperative, and as soon as I got there, they had somebody there to unload me and cooperated, and then the guy recently says, 80% of what we get here you bring. And I told him that I was about ready to quit, that I was getting tired of it, and he says, no, you're not. But he says, if you do, we want to know when, and we'll try to get somebody else to continue on. But I bring the stuff home here, and now I take it twice a week on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and just go to St. Anne's, and they give me another small $50 a month stipend to pay for the high gas price. So that's what I'm doing now to stay out of mischief. I'm not having any fun, but I'm out of mischief. And if you want to go out in the garage and take pictures of the stuff that we've holding to go, what's the day? Sunday, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it'll be Wednesday before I take it.
Yeah, let's go see this work in action.
Yum.
Then I'll show you what else keeps me out of mischief, a bunch of
Puttering?
dumb bunnies. Would you for the governor?
Yes.
I don't know whether they give those points of light anymore or not. I haven't heard anything about them. I was 108th, I believe. That was left in one of our rentals, so I brought it home and hung it up for a conversation piece.
Did you name it?
No, Dinosaurus, I guess.
Okay.
And this is some of the produce that I will take down Wednesday. Not produce, bakery. I'm slipping. This is some of the stuff. You want to take some cheese when you go?
Sure.
I bring it home and bring the stuff home and sort it out into separate boxes. Like potatoes, apples, onions, peppers, and
Nice.
you need some light.
No, this does pretty good with, yeah. Wow.
You can take a picture of my new 2-year-old truck. It's only got
Nice.
1,000 miles on it in 2 years. You're dumb.
Who's that, Grandpa?
Wonder if she took a picture of dumb.
Got him.
No, it's not dumb, it's damn. How'd I call him
It's
dumb?
a sticker.
Well, it could be either. Couldn't it, Blackie?
All right, let's see your rabbits.
Okay. I've got to get down to the South 40.
take some apples home.
I'm gonna get your garden real quick over here.
Get that red ladder over there.
Yeah.
He has
Take him over there with this
raspberries.
garden when you're done.
Okay. Oh, there they are.
Yeah, I wonder if I've got any lettuce left here.
Wow. How many do you have here?
12.
12. There they are.
They never get full, they're always hungry.
Yeah. Okay, so what fruit trees do you have?
This is a light delicious. That's a Lambert cherry and a pear and a peach and a patch of rhubarb. And these are choke cherries. And we've got another peach tree and a choke cherry there in the garden, or in the raspberries.
And you have grapes along the fence, right?
Yeah, I got those down there. They've already picked all these. The neighbors picked them. We had an agreement that we'd share them because they're on a, that's my fence. I paid for it and put it in, but we planted the grapes on his side. He was going to share them, but
Oh.
they picked them all this year. I picked them all last year, so I guess it's only fair.
You got a garden.
I know, and then he worm him and drop them.
Whoa, Grandpa, there's too many up here.
I know, I should
Do you want me to start picking some?